Hi everybody, I'm Beebs Kelley. Welcome back to another fashion edition. Let's take a look at the rest of Meghan Markle's outfits from the Colombia trip. Let's hope Harry wore socks this time. Okay. I think this was day 2. They attended a private lunch where she wore this blue dress. Maybe it was day 3. This is a really similar silhouette to the yellow dress that she wore in Nigeria and previously, just kind of almost baby doll style where it just all drapes down from the top. I don't particularly love them, but I think they work fine for Meghan Markle because remember, her widest point is her shoulders. So something that creates kind of the opposite shape is going to be a little bit more flattering to her, that it doesn't throw her off balance in any way, shape, or form the way something that's maybe getting narrower and narrower as it goes down would just exaggerate the inverted triangle or V shape. I haven't been able to find very good pictures from this day, so maybe we'll do an updated fashion edition as more pictures become available. All we can really talk about is the general shape and color. I like this color. It's a very beautiful blue. It's really unfortunate she doesn't wear bright colors more often. It's not my favorite silhouette personally, but it is relatively modest. Like, it's not clingy or figure hugging. It doesn't have a high slit in sight. There's no backless cutouts, anything like that. It's not a spaghetti strap. It's cut fabric here. It's got a high neckline. I mean, this shouldn't need to be pointed out. The woman has worn spaghetti straps and strapless dresses in places where they are wholly inappropriate to wear. So this was a good option in terms of that. And I believe it was following that luncheon, she changed her outfit again for the 3rd time that day to go with Harry to meet Colombia's Invictus team. And I think this is one of her better options from the trip. It's still not perfect, but it's better. This is good. It's got some stuff going for it. Let's get into it. It is a bad choice of shoe. Once again, some flats, even simple white tennis shoes, like low profile tennis shoes, or even loafers would have been better than these strappy brown sandals. They just don't work for this. It's unfortunate. It's not the worst crime, but it did drag it down a bit to have those sandals at the bottom. The side part, the hair, the makeup all look just fine here. Even the jewelry seems appropriate. All of that's good. The skirt is the star of this outfit. It was an excellent choice. It's got a wrap style that's flattering and enhances the flowy fabric, which is very complimentary to her frame because it contrasts her boxier body type. We've talked about many times having diagonal lines, curved lines, softer fabrics, anything with a flow, elements of softness, balance out and contrast her boxier, more angular frame. It's a wonderful approach. And while the shirt appears to be less wrinkly and a softer fabric than some that she has worn, it doesn't necessarily match the off-white of the skirt close enough, and she created bulk with her usual rolling up of the sleeves. So I'm disappointed in the choice of shirt here. Instead of this, if she had worn something that was like a black elbow-length sleeve top that was just nice and simple, it would have added a great deal of balance. Wearing a darker color where she's widest and having the lighter color, the white with the pattern across the hip and whatnot would have brought even more balance to her figure. It would have been wonderful. And it just would have been a better silhouette overall. But regardless, the skirt here is a perfect illustration of the benefit of curves and softer lines and fabrics with movement and flow to add balance to her figure. So that is wonderful. I also think this might have been a Colombian designer, this skirt, but correct me if I'm wrong, that might not. I don't know. I think I read that. I think I remember reading that. So I think this is one of her better options from the trip overall. It's still not perfect, but it's an improvement. Then she showed up at this panel or conference here, and this one was a bit of a roller coaster for me because the first few pictures that I saw, I thought, well, this is great. Also, this is really good because the skirt is fun, it's patterned, it's got some color, it draws the eye because that pattern is louder in comparison to the plain white top. So it really draws your eye to the skirt, which is good. Her widest point is her shoulders. Drawing the eye to the legs is going to bring balance. While, for example, if you're the opposite, if your widest point is your hips, drawing the eye to the upper body or to the shoulder line is going to balance your figure. It doesn't necessarily have to be volume. It can be things like pattern or bright colors or textures. So it was a great example. This would have been even better if her top was darker, like picked up on one of the blues from the skirt. That would have been really, really nice. But the white is okay too. It does look like the top is a little bit small, perhaps. The slim fit of it is good to not add any sort of bulk or whatnot, but it looks a little too small. I do dislike the gratuitous popped collar here. It just erases her neck. It looks a little silly, a little bit old-fashioned, especially with the hair hanging down here. It's just not wise. It really shrunk down her neck, made her just look like it was sitting right on top of the shoulders. Then I saw And she is wearing a dark strapless bra under this top. What the actual heck is going on here? Why would you do that? Why? Now, this did solve a piece to the puzzle of the mystery of why her chest seems to be sitting so low in a lot of these pictures. It is because she is wearing a padded strapless bra. Strapless bras slip as it is, but if they are also padded, they slip even more because they're just not able to conform to your boob shape and just kind of like stay nice and snug and still. Instead, they have this weight to them that's not really marrying well with your boob shape, and then it's just getting dragged down lower and lower on your torso. So mystery solved there, but why is she wearing a dark bra under this top? Can she not help herself? What is happening? This outfit had potential and she ruined it. I do like the pink shoes. It's a shame she had to ruin the outfit with a stupid bra. Pencil skirts in general are a great option for her, especially or specifically when they are in a color or a pattern, because they will draw the eye and they don't carry the same risk because Meghan Markle specifically has very thin limbs. So her limbs can look kind of lanky and twiggy. So when she wears a skirt that's a little fuller and has a little bit more volume to it, especially down at the bottom of the hemline, then it can accentuate the twigginess of her legs even further. But that is not the case with pencil skirts. So they really should be one of her go-to silhouettes, doing a pencil skirt with a slim fit top. When she was with the royal family, some of her most successful outfits were very, very streamlined, simple shift dresses and pencil skirts with slim tops. It helps to blend the short torso. It doesn't necessarily completely camouflage it, but it blends it because pencil skirts naturally are placed pretty high rise. So she can get away with it. It's streamlined, it's tidy, it's a nice silhouette, and it works really well for her when done right, but she did it wrong and she ruined it. What looks to be their last appearance was a music festival where she wore this green and white dress with a drop skirt feature, which does help to elongate the torso, and it looked quite nice despite being spaghetti strap. It being an evening event and a festival though, I think that this was one situation where the strapless feature didn't look as out of place at other times. I really like the pattern, the colors are great. The bust still looks awkward here. It must be that padded strapless bra syndrome. They fall down a lot no matter what you do. It just is what it is. It's going to make your bust line look odd. It just is. It's an unnatural structure and form that just is not simpatico. So that's unfortunate. But otherwise, I would say the pattern and colors to this particular dress is one of my favorites. I think it's great. And overall, the movement and the curved lines and whatnot in this pattern also further lend itself to helping out her silhouette overall. So I think that was good. In general, looking at her appearances throughout this trip, I think that there were some improvements in her outfits, particularly as compared to the Nigeria situation. At least for the panels, she wasn't wearing this dress to the panel discussions this time. You know, she made a lot more mistakes in that sort of a way in Nigeria. And the culture here is different. This is not a country that is 50% Muslim. So there is a different tone in terms of what is appropriate and what is not. Keep that in mind as well. But there were still mistakes. Most amateur, most ridiculous thing I've seen her do in a while is the black strapless bra under that white shirt, particularly under stage lighting, but anywhere. Did we all not learn this when we were like 12? Okay. So this trip came with a couple of truly shocking, like worst moments of all time doozies, and a few that were like some of her best. Quite the roller coaster. We need to calm down from it. It's time for question of the day. Doesn't the Meg have a stylist? And variations of that have been one of the top questions asked on these videos lately. Nobody knows. We've speculated that the stylist hiring headlines that ran not that long ago were perhaps like a decoy, like a trick to try to see if people would stop criticizing her outfits if they just thought she had hired a stylist, but she didn't actually. That's one theory. But if she did actually hire the stylist, then that would explain some of these that were better choices. Whether or not it's true, it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, she still made plenty of mistakes here. But if she had hired a stylist, it's unlikely that the stylist would have traveled with her, but rather would have helped her to create some outfits or just helped her find some outfits and some pieces before she left. And so that would have still left room for Meghan to throw together a few of her own outfits, and that might have been where we had these tragic mistakes. Who knows? What do you think? I'm curious to know your thoughts on the issue and whether or not you thought she had some improvements on this trip. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It's totally free and helps make sure you do not miss upcoming videos. I hope you have a happy day ahead, and I will see you next time. Bye!